brand of rugby on day one. New Zealand taking on Brazil, who ended their round with a flamboyant 27-5 win over Japan. The Tupis, as Brazil have named themselves, have never had a victory over the girls from Aotearoa in 6 meetings on the World Series. They've only ever scored 1 try against them. So looking at the lineups for this one, as I mentioned, no Woodman off the bench there for New Zealand. Tui gets the start again in the front row, as does Juliana Manuel, taking over from Williams for Brazil. Well, still on the bench there, their captain, Paula Ishibashi, just coming back from injury, so just easing her way back into it. And Sada as well, another with so much experience. Bianca Silva, number 10 jersey, she's made really good impression too. Well, Sude, we often talk about the Kiwis' attack, but yesterday just 3 tries crossed their line. Just the way they shut teams down, really impressive.
Yeah, yesterday all round they were very, very well organised and they executed really precisely. Attack and defence, as you say, so hard to break through such an organised defence, but just a little word on their attack. They were so precise yesterday, some sublime sevens at times. It'd be great if we could see some more of that today.
Yeah, it's entertaining for sure. Kelly Brazier there with the blonde ponytail facing us. She's been excellent too. Always tests the line out when she's got the ball in hand.
Right.
Beatrice Benvetti in charge of this one. There's Brazil's journey to the Cup quarterfinals. 2 losses initially, but that game against Japan, they played a really flat attack, really suited them, really speedy sevens. Nathan Wong puts the referee at odds there. She wasn't sure she was going to start kicking, and very effective because New Zealand have forced the error.
Yeah, it's not as if that's an unusual way for Nathan Wong to start the game, so referee should be pretty aware that that's switch in play is going to happen.
I don't think that Beatrice has actually umpired or refed the New Zealand team very often. She'll know next time. Yeah, good scrum from the home team, but illegal. Crowd very vocal out there for the Brazilian girls. And New Zealand, meanwhile, very calm and collected there. Nathan gives them time to organise. Here's Brazier. Fake cut back from Manuel, given out to Broughton. Broughton's up. Lovely little move there from Gail Broughton. Gets a good pass away, and who else too but Kayla McAllister.
Yeah, McAllister usually has a little bit more to do herself than that. That time it was Gail Broughton that showed all the skill. She looked outside, realised the defence was going, so cut inside. There's 3 players on her, pulls them all in, gets the basketball over the top, offloads to Kayla McAllister. They don't normally come that easy for Kayla.
Her 8th try so far here in Brazil. Usually it's Woodman that collects all the points for New Zealand, but one of her best mates, McAllister's doing it today. Beautiful kick there. Nathan Wong, 135 goals. She's 48 ahead of the next nearest. You can see there McAllister's stats. Top of the pops here so far in Sao Paulo, 7-0.
Yeah, McAllister showing that she has the flexibility. She's playing, I think, on the wing in this game in the absence of Portia Woodman. Gail Broughton at centre. Imagine looking up and seeing Broughton and McAllister in front of you in defence.
Good high orthodox kick to the left this time. Broughton got underneath it, but Brazil comes away with it. Not a good pass there for Berendt. And obstruction. Oh, look at that fiend in the face. Brazier gives it to McAllister. She's over. Once again, it's a double already.
Yeah, Kayla McAllister's on fire this tournament, isn't she? I mean, Kelly Brazier made that one for her. The other steppy player on the inside after Gail Broughton. Players not 10 off the penalty, but it doesn't matter. Brazier fended her off, then got the lovely ball out to McAllister. A little bit more to do that time to finish off.
The key to offend, it's like an open hand punch. That was perfectly placed, wasn't it? On the money. And here's another look at it. And bam! With the left hand too.
Can't argue with that. Sit down.
Lined her up to Kelly Brazier, one of the more experienced players in this New Zealand outfit.
Good defender there. You've got a sore nose and sore pride. All rolled into one.
Oh, the ref took the dummy again. Great chase by Tui. Estevez had to go into contact. Kokan. She scored 4 tries already for the Brazilians. Oh, great counter-ruck there from the Kiwis. Brazier collects from Tui and uses her footwork to stun the defence again. This is all New Zealand so far.
Yeah, so dominant New Zealand, but it's coming from their defence, isn't it? That time, they just pushed up so well in defence. Brazil had nowhere to go at all. They put the pressure on and then get it into the hands. Look, it's the counter-ruck, but it's not just the counter-ruck. The counter-ruck comes, but the whole team, it's almost like the whole team's counter-rucking, pushing forward, so they're on the shoulder as soon as the turnover's made. But Kelly Brazier again, brilliant footwork. She's having quite a tournament.
Slotted. 21-0 already, and if Tyler Nathan Wong isn't taking the kicks, this young lady here, Brazier, could stand up as well.
Yeah, Brazil just need to get their hands on the ball and get a good bit of possession. This is why the kickoff is so important. She kicks off so accurately, Nathan Wong, that every single time Brazil are put under real pressure, they get no free ball at all that allows them to settle.
McAllister in the air, taken by Berendt. At halfback was Mel Bauer. Khan again. Stretching for it was Berendt, and big hit, shoulders and all there on Mel Bauer.
Yeah, great hit from McAllister, but a little bit offside before she made the hit.
Santini with the pass and just going backwards. Brazier gets an intercept and a beautiful ball off to Manuel, who hit it back on the angle. 4th try for the Kiwis.
We saw that a couple of times yesterday. Hiruana Manuel using every ounce of brain power. The angle she cuts, she just knows exactly where the gap is going to be. She's on Kelly Brazier's shoulder. Kelly Brazier, player trying to wrap her up in defence, but manages to get the offload out. Hiruana Manuel right on her shoulder.
Hiruana Manuel was captain of New Zealand before she got injured. There you can see the New Zealand tries here. 23 tries. Australia not even close. Manuel, of course, playing in the forwards now. Used to be a centre, but playing a really good role with those short balls. She's not perfect after all, Nathan.
Good to know. Makes
26
us all
0.
feel a little bit inadequate.
Absolutely, 26-0. She is Manuel.
Yeah, it could bring little extra dimension to New Zealand's game, Manuel at hooker, can't it? Normally playing half-back, 9 or 10, but just brings that extra playmaker, that extra sort of line runner onto the pitch.
There's proof New Zealand's defence best in the comp so far. Tui batters the ball back. Goss chasing, but this is good for Kokan. Kokan, she's got a bit of support there. Nathan Wong has gone back and just dribbles out the back. And so there we have it. 7 minutes of hell for the home team, really. And heavenly sevens for New Zealand, 26-0 as we go to the break.
Come in tight. Okay, right now there is so much talking out there, disagreeing, and you just need to go back to the basics. Your positions, Raquel, Mayra, Edna, you're all out. Contact off a kick-off, you go blind. You're sitting in there in a pocket. You play the vantage line and you go there, stretch them, then you go. Penalties, you don't look around, you go. Rucks, we talked about quick rucks. You're putting pressure on yourself because you don't know the basic stuff. Kick-offs, you go forward, Raquel, you come across their line. They're stepping in the inside of Louisa. Everyone is. Think about it, communicate, get respect from this team. You need to maintain the ball. Come on. You go as 12, not 7, or not individuals. 12. You've got 1 minute to show us. Okay, there's no don't give them respect. Get respect from them. Come on, pick it up.
Well, I've never seen Chris Neal that animated, and no wonder.
Yeah, he was pretty unhappy, wasn't he? Frustrated. He's not saying don't give them respect at all. He's saying don't give them too much respect. Sometimes you play the world champions and you start the game behind because you're worried about them. You think they're so good, so you don't turn up, and that's what's happened a little bit to Brazil here. They just have to give it everything they've got and play and remember the things that they've been taught on the training park. Because it sounds at the moment Chris Neal's frustrated because there's simple things they've worked on that they're simply not doing because they're so spooked by playing the world champions.
They have the kick-off for Khan. It's a nice one in there for Brazil. Chased well and pushed back on the home team side. Rucks form, but the ball just pops out the back. Glides on there for New Zealand, and she's the one that earned that turnover. So, yeah, a bit more passion in the start there for Brazilians.
We're talking in the first half about how good New Zealand's defence is. Part of that is because they never let the opposition have the ball. If you don't have to actually do very much defending, because they're so good at the kickoffs and so good at the breakdown, starves the opposition of ball.
Nice switch back there from the Kiwi girls. Futta Simpkins puts the big dummy out, just pushed over and out. So it's a cardinal sin, I've got to say, dying with the ball over the sideline in sevens. You're better to pull up and wait for your support.
Yeah, she thought she had it on the outside, didn't she, there? But as you say, running off the pitch is just handing the ball to the opposition. There's all that space on the other side. Just pull out and send it back the other way. Because what you've done by taking the ball really wide is put all the defence that way, and that means, of course, that there's loads of undefended space on the other side of the pitch.
At the front, but read by Tui, and look at that, Finn. Tui does it by herself and does a superwoman dive at the end.
That is absolute heartbreak for Brazil, isn't it? A chance for a bit of possession. Ruby Tui, really intelligent play there. Read what Brazil were going to do. Look at that.
Took it in front of the 5 though, Sue Day.
She did, yeah. Cut it out before it got to the 5.
So the rule is if you catch the ball in front of that 5 metre line, it's given back to the opposition. So I guess technically it wasn't a try, but hey, it's on the scoreboard.
Exactly. If the referee gives it, it's a try, and Ruby Tui, the intelligence to read that, got to hand it to her, and it was a good finish as well in the end, wasn't it?
Auditioning for a role in Supergirl 2, maybe. 31-0 now.
Or auditioning for a role in the Rio Olympics, at least.
Well, same thing. Just over 4.5 minutes to go in this Cup quarter-final in the Day 2 of Sao Paulo Sevens. Futta Simpkins with the kicking role now for New Zealand. So they've had meagre possession. Brazil. Malboa goes back to where Santini is. the right-hand side. They've got their experience on now, Brazil. Campos, the ball carrier there. Unfortunately, she didn't release the ball on the ground, and Brazier's jumped on it. Offhands it there to Williams. Tries to get an offload away and intercepted there by Santini. So New Zealand's attack breaks down for the first time, and Brazil hold on.
Yeah, referee checking with her assistant. Quite what the call should be.
From black.
No respite whatsoever for Brazil. More ball for New Zealand. It's just Brazil just can't get their hands on the ball. New Zealand are so good in the breakdown in this game, aren't they? Every time Brazil take it in, there's someone in there competing for the ball or counter-rucking.
Simpkins. Brazier has to clean that up a little. Does it well. Nice little kick through, and the chase is on from Williams, but the ball beat her to the sideline. Good option though from Brazier.
Great vision from Brazier, just slightly overhit, but if that had been a metre shorter, it would have been a beautiful kick. Great idea, great vision, just execution slightly out. Look how close this is. It just creeps over the line before she gets there. Half a metre, I reckon, would have done it.
10 out of 10 for the dive.
9.5, I reckon.
So a lot of subs being rolled on. We've got Starda coming out there for Brazil, as well as Ramao. Anything to stop this relentless black tide for the Brazilians. Tui's got back for that. Outpaces the defence of Campos. Ruby Tui just smashes straight on in. Brazier uses that beautiful little boot again, and Chubik is on it. Chubik pushes the pass back to Brazier, who started it off. Puts it in the boot. Farah Simpkins to Williams. Here's Williams. She's got plenty of space in front of her, Nia Williams, and she's over. And the story continues. It's all New Zealand. So first ever try too. Good on you, Nia Williams.
Yeah, lovely bit of finishing from Nia Williams. Always a great moment to score your first try. A slight dummy on the inside, but she didn't need any help. She got Sarah Goss there in support as well, but plenty of pace, Nia Williams to finish off. Do you reckon Kelly Brazier's been practicing that kick pass on the training field? That's two we've seen in 2 minutes now. That one came off beautifully, didn't it? It was what started that move.
Great arsenal to have, isn't it, that extra? I mean, you see players like Dan Carter, he's got those kind of skills, that kick pass. We see it in the Australians too, and we don't get to enjoy it very often on the sevens field, and we've seen it twice already. Yeah,
and it's such a powerful weapon, especially once the seventh defender, the seventh sweeper, has had to push up to cover. No one in behind, you know, and when the defence is racing up, it's the perfect way to get the ball into the hands of the wide players.
This kick a little deeper and knocked on by Silva. It could have been a great opportunity to see her open up. Lovely runner that she is.
Yeah, she's going to be a great addition to this Brazil squad in the next few years, isn't she? We've already seen a few glimpses of what she can do. Starting by only 17. Goodness me, the world is her oyster, isn't it?
Yeah, and Chris Neal told me she's from one of his rugby social projects. They get out into the community and find these really raw talents, put them on the program. It's just fantastic that rugby gives them this opportunity.
Yeah.
Broughton to Williams. Uses a bit of footwork there, Williams. Went forward. See Silva unable to hold on to it. So Broughton in. Goss gets a good wide pass out to Tui. The two props working together, and Tui shows she's got a bit of leg and gets her second for this one.
Yeah, there's finishing ability all over the pitch for New Zealand. A good bit of running from Ruby Tui. A lot more work to do than the last try, but a beautiful pass from Sarah Gross. The vision to see that that's where the space was and push the ball out past Katarina Fata-Simpkins all the way into the hands of Ruby Tui. Great work from New Zealand.
Great to see Ruby Tui getting some tries. Had a great nationals in January in New Zealand. 24 years old. Everybody's getting into the action in the sideline. So no goal, but so many tries in a fantastic, emphatic performance here from New Zealand. They've won their quarter-final 41 points to 0 over Brazil.